Welcome back to Simplified on PowerDrift and welcome back to the Formula 1 series that we're doing on Simplified. Today we're taking a topic that's a really hotly requested topic, and that is safety cars and the rules around safety cars. Now, before we talk about the rules around those safety cars, let's talk about why a safety car might be needed in the first place, and that is 90% of the time down to an incident that happens on the track. So for example, if a car is stuck in the gravel and the marshals need to go out to retrieve it, it is too dangerous for the marshals to go out on the track even under yellow flag conditions, because for example, if a driver does not obey that yellow flag and goes really fast and has a crash on his own, that can cause a lot more trouble and a lot more damage and maybe even fatal injuries in that case. So marshals tend to almost never go out on a track even under yellow flag conditions unless there is a safety car or a virtual safety car. We'll speak more about that in a bit. But that is pretty much most of the usage of a safety car. It helps marshals retrieve or fix an incident that might have happened on the track. Now, the safety car doesn't just slow down the pace of the field, it also helps the field bunch up. Now, in a Formula 1 race, over 20 laps, 30 laps, the field gets scattered all over the track. So at any point, there will be some car on some part of the track. And that means that marshals will never have free time to actually go and retrieve something, because there'll be some car that's coming across. The safety car comes out, all the cars sort of take a lap and they all line up behind the safety car, and that means that they are all bunched up and slowed down, and all the cars are only on one part of the track and they slowly move like a snake to the other parts of the track. So let's say the incident is in turn 1. As soon as the safety car and all the cars behind the safety car pass turn 1, I can quickly retrieve whatever I need to retrieve from the track, or quickly push a car away if needed, until that line comes all the way back together, and then I go back into the safety behind the barrier and then come back again as soon as the car is gone. So basically, the safety car helps speed up the process of the marshals, gives them a little more safety to make any retrievals, any interventions that they need to make on the track. There is a second function of the safety car, and that's when it's raining quite a bit. The safety car will come out and all the cars will go out for a few laps behind the safety car, and that is not only done in the interest of safety, but it's also done to disperse some of the water on the track. Having 20 Formula 1 cars plus one safety car run on a track at a fairly good pace will help clear a lot more water versus just standing and waiting for the track to get drier. So that's a second place where the safety car tends to come out. Now you know basically why a safety car comes out. Now let's talk about what happens when a safety car comes out. Basically, if the incident requires a safety car to come out, the safety car flag and the safety car icon is shown on the digi flags. The drivers also get a safety car warning on their screens. They basically slow right down. The safety car is always in the pit lane. It comes out of the pit lane, and then it's up to all the cars to join the safety car line. Under the safety car rules, there is no overtaking. Of course, everyone is at one pace and they're all one behind the other. And what can sometimes happen, because the field is a bit scattered, is there may be some lapped cars in between the cars on the lead lap. So I will explain that in slightly simpler terms. Is that, let's say I'm in first, I'm Max Verstappen. There might be the guy who's in 20th, for example, Logan Sargent, in second, and in the third in the line might be the guy who's actually in second, which is Lewis Hamilton. Now what happens is, when the safety car goes in, that means there is Logan Sargent between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, who are supposed to be racing. So what the stewards will do is, right before the safety car is about to end, there will be a message that goes out to drivers that says lapped cars are now allowed to overtake. And that means that all the cars that are lapped, and that might be all across the line, will come out. They will overtake the safety car, go all around the track and come back and join, and then the safety car can pull in and everyone is in their order of position. Now, sometimes they will not allow the cars to fully join. It all depends on the time. If they have a lot of time and if the track is still getting fixed, they will allow the cars to rejoin at the end of the line. Sometimes they let them go halfway across a lap and then restart the race. But yeah, that's up to the discretion of the stewards. Now, this has been a big talking point because of the 2021 Formula One World Championship finale, where it was Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton. There were some lap cars between the two, and instead of letting all the lap cars go by, the stewards only let the lap cars between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen go by, and that was where a little bit of concern came into play. Now, the thought process for the stewards was that this was a really heated World Championship, the closest it's ever been in a long time. It's going to be decided in the race. It's the last few laps, and it would be a shame to end it under safety car conditions where the winner is basically decided. So the stewards decided it's better to give the fans, it's better to give the teams, the drivers, everyone a spectacle where the champion is decided based on a race. And to achieve that in the short amount of time left with them, they basically had to let only the 2 or 3 lap cars that were between Max and Lewis go by, and the rest were remained as is. Now, I'm not a big fan of what they did. I am a Max Verstappen fan, but I still don't fully side with what the stewards did. But those rules have now been tightened up and they are a lot more strict, and Formula One and FIA are paying a lot more attention to how the safety car rules and especially the unlapping rule is applied in races. But I think the thought process of the stewards was from a right place. I think the implementation was just a bit wrong. Okay, so now you know that the lap cars are allowed to overtake themselves in most safety car situations. Then what happens? So basically, once the race is ready to go, the safety car lights, they go off, and that is when the race leader can control the pace of the rest of the snake. No one can overtake under safety car conditions anyways until the safety car line. So, okay, Max Verstappen is here, the safety car is here, safety car lights go out. Max Verstappen will tend to slow down, or any driver would tend to slow down. Let the safety car go forward. The safety car will pull into the pits. Max Verstappen's chief engineer will still be telling him, okay, the safety car has reached here, it's reached here, it's reached here. Okay, safety car is in the pits now. You can basically go. So basically, Max Verstappen will wait for that safety car to be a safe distance away, and then he will go for it. Now, the thought process for the race leader is to basically catch the guy in second, third, fourth, and everyone else off guard and try to create as much of a gap behind him as possible. So they will keep swerving and getting heated in their tires, and suddenly they will go for it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Even when it doesn't work though, the guy in second or even the guy in third, fourth, fifth, all across the field, they cannot make any overtakes until everyone crosses the safety car line. All overtakes must be made after the safety car line. It's a physical white line on the track, and you can only overtake after that. So let's say, for example, I'm the race leader and I mess up my safety car start and I'm really slow to get off the pace, but until I cross the safety car line, no one can overtake me. After that, you're free to overtake. Okay, that's pretty much all the rules around the safety car. Let's quickly discuss the virtual safety car as well. Now, the virtual safety car is basically literally a virtual safety car. It doesn't allow the field to be bunched up, but it significantly slows down the field by telling the drivers, they have sort of a display that comes onto their dash that tells them the maximum and minimum time of arrival to the next point of the track. So basically, the track is divided into many mini sectors of a very short distance each, and you have a maximum time of arrival for each sector that basically governs your speed. So it'll basically say I need to arrive at the next sector in, let's say, 30 seconds. I cannot go faster than that, and it basically governs the speed for every single car on the track and makes them go significantly slower. The VSC is basically used in situations where there's a very quick fix that needs to happen. So for example, if a car just needs to be pushed into the service lane, if some debris just needs to be dusted off the track, they will use the VSC because the safety car itself has a lot of procedures around it, and it can take up 5-6 laps of a race. And sometimes that's not really needed, but you still need the safety of a safety car, which is where the VSC comes in. Now, both the VSC and the safety car can throw a wrench in the strategy of a race, and that's because doing a pit stop under the safety car conditions or a VSC condition has much less of a time loss versus if you do it under racing conditions. The reason for this is that in racing conditions, cars are going really fast, but in the pit lane, you're going really slow. But under VSC and safety car conditions, the cars aren't going so fast and you're going at the same speed in the pit lane. So basically, the time lost is much lesser. it can be approximately 10 to 12 seconds under safety car conditions versus a full 23 seconds under normal racing conditions. So you can make up a lot of places if you smartly wait for a safety car. And that's pretty much it. It was a slightly long episode of Simplified. There are quite a lot of very confusing rules around safety cars that are actually a lot more confusing telling them outright versus seeing them on the track. So I think the best way to get a hang of safety cars is to watch as many Formula One races as you can. There's one this weekend and I'm really excited for it. Thank you for watching Simplified on PowerDrift. Let me know if you're enjoying this Formula One series and give us more topics. We'll make sure to cover them, and I'll see you on the next one.
Till I saw you, till I saw you.